Hello and welcome to the very first deck profile of the year, where, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I have made a Yubel deck. And this is my budget Yubel deck. So how budget is it? Well, so far I'm still missing quite a few cards. I don't, as I'm recording this, because I'm recording this the day before Christmas Eve, that's how far in advance I'm recording this. I do not have Phantom of Yubel. That is the one thing that I am missing from this list, as well as a third Spirit of Yubel. But aside from that, this is basically a really really budget deck. Like for the Yubel core that I got, I paid 74 in total. Um, which is good because like I'm not going down the Fiend Smith route because, well, I don't have the 60 euro to drop on just a single engraver, let alone a play set for 180. Yeah, that ain't happening at all. Um, so yeah, I have already taken this to locals. Now, not this exact list. I took a different, more very pure route without the Unchained engine. A tiny Unchained engine in it. And I got 2 wins and 2 losses with it, which of course you would have seen on episode 11 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Local Chronicle series. But now, with that ramble over, let's dive right into the deck. And as well, if you would like to see me do some test hands with this to show you the combo line with this deck, do let me know. And good thing is I don't actually have to match up the my playmat with the deck. I don't have to actually go and buy one because I've had this for a while. This is a very old Judai and Yubel mat that has, the pendulum zones on it back before they were in the spell and trap zones. That's how old this playmat is. But anyway, now let's get on to the profile where I am, of course, playing two of the namesake, being two Yubel. You know, she's an OG card, not once per turn, which is perfect because all the Yubel cards really aren't hard once per turns. They don't they can be used as a loop as many times as you want. And then of course I do have her other forms being Yubel Terror Incarnate, as well as Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare. So I will of course loop it. Like I could bring this back off of the field spell, pop it with something, then bring out Terror Incarnate from hand or grave because it'll be properly summoned, or hell, I could even just bring out one of them from the field spell because they've been properly, as long as they've been properly summoned and engraved, or even banished, I can do that. I'm pretty sure for banish I can do that. Anyway, I'm of course then playing two Spirit of Yubel because this is kind of like kind of a hand trap because if your opponent attacks you, you can special summon it. And then since it cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage, they can't really out it. And then once it's special summoned, I can either add to my hand or set a spell or trap that from deck that mentions Yubel. So that's like, say if they pop my Nightmare Pain, I can use this to get another one out from deck. And then we have the honorary Yubel monster, that being Samsara de Lotus, which is basically a searcher and a negate because you can tribute this to special summon a Yubel monster from your deck, and then say when during your opponent's turn they activate a monster's effect. Once you control a Yubel monster, you can quick effect tribute this card, and then that activated effect becomes destroy a Yubel. And then of course if you have the field spell, you get to loop back one of your Yubel monsters. Speaking of Throne, I do play triple Throne. This is the bread and the butter of the deck. When it's summoned, you can either search a fiend with attack 0, defense 0, or you can decide to destroy it or add it to your hand. And then if you destroy it, say if you destroy Yubel, you get the Yubel effect off to bring out Terra Incarnate. And then anytime a Yubel monster leaves the field, you can bring out one out from deck, grave, or banishment whose level is one lower or one higher than the monster that and then that was gone, and then you can special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then of course I do play the one terraforming to search it. And then of course I do play the continuous spell Nightmare Pain, because this forces your opponent to only attack your Yubel monsters, and then you can destroy a dark monster from hand or face up on field and add a Yubel card or one that mentions it from deck to your hand. So it has that synergizes. But I do, in this budget version, I am of course going to play the Mature Chronicle, because this is another way to get back some of your cards, because every time you special summon a Yubel monster or a card that mentions Yubel, you place one counter on it, and you can, if you remove one, you can special summon a Yubel from grave. 2, add a banish card from your to your hand. 3, banish one card from your deck. 4, pop a card on field. And 5, add super polymerization. Yes, so it is a super poly target, which is very, very handy. And then the one Yubel trap that I do play is Eternal Favorite, and I will use its second effect, to basically fusion away my opponent's entire board. Now we get on to the Unchained package. So I play quite a few. And again, I haven't tested this version out at locals, but the next time I do go to locals, this will be my deck of choice. So the Unchained package is triple Aruha. These are cards I already had before, so that's why I did not factor them into the €70 that I spent on the core. One Shavara, one Shyama. I also play one of each of the traps, and then I also play 2 prison as a searcher. Because one of the things I love to do is if I have Yubel on field and I have Shavara in hand, either from getting it from linking into Yama or just searching it off a prison, I can then destroy my Yubel, special summon it, and then Yubel's effect will trigger. And now we get on to just the rest of the cards that are kind of engine pieces. And that is, of course, 2 Dark Beckoning Beasts, as well as the 2 opening of the Spirit Gates. And then I do main deck triple Super Polymerization to fuse away my opponent's board, again, since I don't have Phantom of Yubel. I have the one for one to get extra access to any that I need, and then the hand traps that I play to round out this 41 card list is triple Dimension Shifter, because this deck plays under Shifter, since I can recur some of my cards from grave, not from grave, from banished, some of my Yubel monsters, and if my Unchained cards, the only one that it affects really is Shavara, because Shavara needs to be in the grave to get the to set one of the traps from deck. But aside from that, the other Unchained stuff does play through it. And then of course the final hand trap being triple Infinite Impermanence, and that is the deck. So yeah, I'm so far, from playtesting it, I am enjoying it. I was surprised I was actually able to bring it to locals, and the fact that it it did as well as it did for the very first time of bringing it to locals. Even like I said, it's not complete. I'm still missing the 3rd Spirit of Yubel. I'm missing the Phantom of Yubel, but thankfully Phantom is only about a tenner, so it's not going to be too drastic of a price to get. So it's only really going to be about then 80 for to build this entire deck, which for as a competitive deck that it is, spending €80, it's not bad in my opinion, considering how much Raziel and Malice cost. And the deck still can perform, even with just the one Phantom, it still can perform, But anyway, Moving into the extra deck, I am of course playing 2 Yubel, the Loving Defender, which is a phenomenal card because I can super poly away their entire board and then burn them for every material used. And then of course I can, attack them, attack one of their monsters if they can bring out another one, and make them take the burn damage. And then I can banish that card as well. So, it is very handy. I do have other super poly targets, being Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, so 2 dark monsters. So this will be good in the mirror match, because there is somebody else in locals that does indeed play Yubel, but like Yubel, Fiendsmith, that type of thing. I also threw in a QCR Garura. This was initially it was actually going to be 50 € for the core, but because this was on the list that I was building as a super poly target, because it's 2 monsters with the same type and attribute but different names, being a QCR, that was like 14 €, but you don't need the QCR to play it. Obviously you can get a cheaper one. Then into the into the XCs, because I do place 3 XCs, 2 level 10s and a level 11. So I play Varidos, the Final Bringer of End Times, because of its effect. When your opponent activates a card or quick effect, I can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, then I can detach another material from this card, then destroy 1 card in the field. Then at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks whilst it has material, you can destroy 1 card in the field. If this XC summon card is destroyed, you can destroy 1 card on the field. So, it definitely has its utilities. So, say if I negate my opponent's effect and I decide, I've detached 1 of my Yubels, I can detach another, either Spirit or, Yubel itself. And say if I had, Terra Incarnate or something, I can pop it, and then that synergizes with the field spell. I'm also playing Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. To be completely honest with you, I'm going to try and get the Lost Art version of this because I just hate the birthday candle cake that they fucking censored on. So, yeah, that is another of the XCs that I play. And then, of course, I do play Super Dreadnought Rail King Cannon Juggernaut Lieb, because that's how I killed someone at locals. I made Gustav, detached, burned him for 2k, then made this, detached another material to make it up to 6k, and just went from there. And now we get into the links. I play quite a few Link 2s, of course. I'm playing Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, as well as the 1 Rage to go with it. The other 2 Link 2s that I play is Cross Sheep, because if I make this and then I can, fusion summon to a zone it points to, I can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from my graveyard, which will either be Dark Beckoning Beast or Samsara D Lotus, and an extra way to get it out onto the field. And then, of course, SP Little Knight. Then the 2 4s that I play is Unchained Abomination and Access Code Talker, because I have made this. Granted, I would probably try to sub in Anguish, because Anguish helps make it that bit quicker. And then, of course, I also play as the last one, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, because I have made that before as well in locals. So that is the extra deck. Like I said, I'd probably cut the access code for Phantom of Yubel when I get my hands on her. Moving on into the side deck, I'm just going to go pretty quickly because it's the same as my Unchained Vanquish Soul list, which is basically triple Ash, triple Droll, triple Droplet, 2 talents, 2 Thrust, 1 talent, and then triple Evenly Matched to round out the side deck. And that is it. Like I said, when I do return to locals at some point this month, I will be playing this deck because I have been constantly testing it out and I am loving it. So let me just put that there. So yeah, again, if you want to see me do some test hands with this list, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and here's to 2025 being a good year for the channel. I'll see you all next time.